When we've been hurt, it is really hard to let people in. How can we believe that people are genuinely good when the people closest to us have hurt us so many times? And yet, being shut down is really painful and feeling alone. So it really does begin with us. So the first step to having faith in other people is actually having faith in us. It's really looking inside and asking ourselves, do I believe that I am a good person? Unfortunately, a lot of us have been told that we're not. Even the church has taught that we are sinful by nature, right? That there's something wrong with us. We've been subtly or aggressively told that we aren't good enough through advertisements and the schools and society, that we need to always be improving, we need to prove ourselves, we need to contribute. But the truth is, you are a good person. Within you there is kindness, and there is a desire to love and be loved. You might be defensive, you might even say mean things or do mean things, or say things you regret later. But you have to have compassion for the child inside of you who's just defending themselves against a world that maybe proved early on really wasn't safe to be open. The key is to start peeling back the layers of protection that we've put up, slowly, and strengthening ourselves on the inside too. And that could be done through anything. It could be done through doing fun things that you love. It could be done through a spiritual practice like yoga or tantra or meditation. So we strengthen on the inside while we slowly peel back our defenses so that we can be open with others. And this is a process that we continue with our whole life. Like, it's not something that just happens overnight. Once we start recognizing these defensive mechanisms inside of us, yelling at people, being sarcastic, whatever it is that keeps people at a safe distance, we'll start to recognize that in other people. When we see someone who's really sarcastic, we'll look at them and go, huh. And we'll know that they need to be sarcastic to keep you at a distance because they're hurting inside, just like me. This is really important because the other person have to know it, but it does create a bond between you because you understand what it means to be sarcastic and you understand the need to keep people at a distance and to make yourself feel stronger in that relationship, maybe in a world where you never had that strength and you were hurt by people who were stronger. Part of this is also releasing judgment of ourselves and of others. Thomas Merton was this Catholic monk who I particularly love reading about, and he once said that our job is to love others without stopping to inquire whether or not they are worthy. The key to this is, again, it's self-love and not judging ourselves for everything that we are. And knowing that we're much more than even what we see right now, right? There's like this much of us that shows on the surface, even to ourselves. We may have some insight as to what's going on under the surface, but even we only see so much, right? I once saw a picture of an iceberg, and the iceberg has this much on top, and then there's this huge iceberg underneath. That's like us. If we only judge us based on what we see up here, sure, we can say, well, that was mean, or you shouldn't have done that, or you could do better than that. But when we actually consider everything that we're actually bringing to the table, maybe we're doing amazing, right? It's like looking at a person standing outside smoking and going, ugh, can you believe they're smoking? But we don't know that they just kicked heroin, or that they didn't just lose someone that they love, or maybe they've had a tough row in life and smoking isn't such a bad thing. It's really a case of going, we have no idea what's right or wrong for another person. We have no idea what's even right or wrong for us some days. Releasing judgment has a lot to do with having compassion for people, right? to really look at someone and look at the child inside and go, what happened? Why did you end up this way? And that's not important. It's not about analyzing each other, but it's about having compassion and knowing that everybody has a story. Everybody has something that built them to this place. Sometimes I would watch children at playgrounds and all they wanted to do was climb all over. And every so often you'll see a parent there and, oh, don't hold there. Oh, hold there. Don't hold there. Oh, hold there. And the child eventually has no idea how to play on a playground without mom there telling them what to do or what not to do. And this isn't a great big blame your mother for everything. It's just about understanding that if that child grows up and they're a little fearful or they're afraid of doing the wrong thing, it came from somewhere. That's all we have to know. And eventually, as we look at all the different people in our lives and we start to learn their stories, we start to have compassion for them. And if someone else says, can you believe they did that? You go, no, well, if you knew what they lived through or if you knew what they were fighting, you'd understand. And if you know enough stories like that, then you don't need to know the story anymore. Whoever it is doing whatever it is they're doing, we just look at them and go, well, they have a story too. That's okay. And we don't have to judge them. Releasing this judgment allows us such joy and freedom. It allows us to live inside our own skin and just love wherever we are without a constant summary of, oh, well, you could have done this better, or you should do this, or you shouldn't do this, and you shouldn't have done that, or with everyone around us. If you watch your thoughts, and it's important to watch your thoughts. If you're walking down the street, what do you think about? Do you look at that person and go, wow, they're really fat, or that person really thinks a lot of themselves, or that person's flaunting their money, or that person's whatever? It's exhausting and it's irrelevant. We have no idea anything about any of them. So imagine the peace and quiet in your mind when you just get to walk down the street. Everybody gets to be whoever they are. You get to be whoever you are. And you are not susceptible to anyone else's judgment either. Can you imagine the peace and quiet inside? It's a whole new world.